What's going on, guys? This is Zaccari, and today I'm coming at you with a bit more of a personal video. With the recent long-anticipated launch of N64 games on the Wii U Virtual Console, I thought it would be appropriate to talk about the first time I waited for and finally got to play the Nintendo 64. My grandma bought me the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World bundle when I was 5, and then after I was enamored with that, my dad bought me an NES out of the classified ads in the paper. For you kids out there, that's how people bought and sold things before Craigslist and eBay. Anyway, I had never gotten a console on launch day before, as I wasn't very aware of them before I got my Super Nintendo. But after I got my Super Nintendo, I did get a subscription to Nintendo Power, and one day they sent me a message in the form of a VHS tape that it was time to change the system. Yeah, if you had the power back in that day, you probably remember getting the same VHS tape. I watched that thing religiously during the time leading up to the launch of the system, and one of the segments featured the Klob himself explaining the new way we'll be controlling Mario in Super Mario 64. Needless to say, I had to have one. So on September 29th, 1996, my mom, dad, and I ventured off to try and get one. Our store of choice was the local Target. We arrived early to find that people were already waiting outside the store. So my mom went to join the mob while my dad waited with me in the car. Now, our Target has two entrances on each side of the store. So naturally, my mom went to the one closer to the video game section. But when the doors opened, the ones on the farther side were actually opened a few seconds before the closer ones. I watched from the car as the people bolted into the store, followed shortly after by those on my mom's side. Figuring that now there was no chance of me getting the system, I sat and waited for the inevitable. Well, that day, our Target received a total of 5 Nintendo 64s, and my mom was third in line. I don't know how she did it, but the moment of seeing her walk out of the store with that box is one I will never forget. Along with the system, she got me 2 games, Super Mario 64 and Pilot Wings 64. I wasn't familiar with Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo, but I remembered the 64 game also being featured on that promotional video. But that's a different game for a different day. We got home, I tore into the box, hooked up the system, and of course popped in Super Mario 64. Yeah, I wasn't having any of that waiting for Christmas bullshit today. After spending hours watching Mario run around on a 360-degree plane, I was actually doing it myself. The new controls took some getting used to, as they did when I started replaying it again on Wii U, and man, I don't remember the camera being this finicky, but maybe I was just too busy having fun to notice. Playing the first level again brought it all right back to me. Just how enamored I was with this world. The whole concept of running around in open space, doing whatever you want, was totally new to me. I spent most of my first couple hours with this game just running around and exploring. I can still clearly recall the first time I encountered the Big Bomb and how my heart stopped when he first picked me up and tossed me, or when I already knew how to take down Bowser, again thanks to the promotional video. Oh, you don't like when I use shortcuts? Well, what do you think about this? Peace, bitch. Through each painting in Peach's castle was a totally new world to explore, filled with all sorts of secrets. Just when I would think I had it all figured out, I discovered something new. Yeah, don't even get me started on the wing cap. Anytime a level had one of those red boxes, I had to grab the cap and do at least a few laps. So obviously, I have a ton of great memories with this game and with this system. And it's all thanks to my mom, who may or may not have killed some people in Target that day. So I dedicate this video to any parent who's busted their ass to get their child the perfect gift. Well, that's a wrap for this video, but what were your earliest memories of the Nintendo 64? Was Super Mario 64 the first game you played on the console? Let me know in the comments. Also, tell me if you'd like to see more of these trip down memory lane type videos. As always, I'm Zaccari, and thanks for watching.